Vice President Kamala Harris will unveil a proposed ban on price gouging. Now, Kamala's narrative is that inflation isn't real, grocery stores are just too greedy, charging extra money for no reason. This is ridiculous. If any of you know how grocery store margins work, they are the thinnest margins of any.
Yeah, dude, this is some real populist narratives right here. Hey, boys, I love that right-wing populism immediately falling apart. Immediately. Democrats have to, like, literally within an ass hair move to the left just a little bit, okay? Marginally, Democrats move to the left a little bit with, like, bold policy proclamations, and immediately they're like, do you know how fucking tiny the profit margins are at corporations? Like, what are you saying, dude? What the fuck are you saying? Have you seen Walmart? What are you talking about? We give Walmart $6.2 billion in subsidies per year. They made $147 billion in profit in 2023. It's also like 50% owned by the Walton family still. So like they literally, there's like 7 people that we gave half of $147 billion in profit to. And these motherfuckers are still like, it's not enough. Permanent profits. It's not enough. Fucking die. Fucking die. If you're working poor, you deserve death. You deserve death and destruction. Because we need to move profit margins by 1 extra percent, which means like $7 gorillion for 7 people. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the working poor saying the same shit too. They don't know any better, brother. They don't know any better. They've never lived in a world where like we've actually moved in a leftward direction. With the exception of some civil liberties, we've never actually seen any kind of like economic prosperity. That's why.
Any store, any, let's just say, market out there. The Democrats are trying to say, well, corporations are greedy and they're just price gouging. We know why prices are going up. When you have more dollars in the system than goods and services, prices go up. Inflation is the most proven way to crush an economy in a country. Government overspending is the reason why you get inflation. And Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote on trillions of dollars of unnecessary government overspending that flooded the zone with dollar bills and has raised your grocery prices. So now she's saying we are going to do...
He's straight up defending corporations here. And not even doing a good enough job like tying it back to the individual consumer and how this will harm them.
That flooded the zone with dollar bills and has raised your grocery prices. So now she's saying we are going to do price controls. This is terrifying. If she were to win, she would then be at war against one of the most firmly settled rules of economics. Literally 1,700 years ago, the Roman Emperor Diocletian tried to stop inflation with an edict on prices.
Wow. Real working class hero, Charlie Kirk over here, dude. He's fucking killing it with this rant.
During the French Revolution, the revolutionary government passed the law on the maximum, capping prices on food. It failed. Instead, what did it lead to? Famine. If you come in with price controls, you are going to have food shortages.
Why? Walk me through it. Are you saying that we are at the behest of corporate entities that will refuse to continue producing? First and foremost, there is not a single agricultural producer in this fucking country that does not open up their hand and take billions of dollars in subsidies from Big Daddy government in an effort to already keep prices adjusted. So if they say no, okay, seize them. Seize those fucking agricultural producers and bring them under the big banner of government. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to go against the American government? What are you, fucking crazy? This is why I don't have that much of an issue with like the way that China operates. Can you imagine a world in which like agricultural producers in China go against the Chinese government? They're like, excuse me, sir. We actually want to make sure that we keep prices high. Can you imagine? Immediately they'd be like, good one. Okay, you're going to jail. That's it. What a ridiculous, nonsensical proposition. There is no world in which our agricultural producers do not fucking operate without American subsidies. We pay for that, jackass. We pay for those subsidies, and then they still turn around and they're going to do what? They're just not going to produce food at reasonable levels? Oh, no. What? Oh, no. That's so sad, bro. That's so sad. They're just not going to produce because they're going to limit supply because they can't make a tidy profit margin. Okay. Institute the Defense Production Act instantly, and if they don't comply, seize it.
Kamala Harris has been saying time and time again, it's time for us to do more from the federal government. The Washington Post comes out and reports that she wants to come in with federal price controls on your groceries. Same reason why rent control doesn't work in New York, San Francisco, and D.C. They don't have lower rent. They have the highest rent in the country and constant housing shortfalls.
Subsidies for corporations is ingrained in the Republican platform. Necessities and groceries should be fixed margin, low profitable businesses. Kroger and Walmart could be nationalized, and it would improve the working class living by a vast amount. Solve wealth inequality. This is not communism, a Red Scare tactic. This is smart economics. Republicans, inflation is a huge issue. Biden and Kamala own it. We need to check these corporations. Propose a ban on price gouging. This is unacceptable and disqualifying. Worst policy ever. These idiots aren't even trying. Just be honest and say policy is irrelevant to you and you're against the Democrats no matter what. Spare us the time and fake outrage. You can't identify a farm. Dude, shut the fuck up. Immediately trying to hit like an American mythical farmer, you know? Bitch, the farmers are also suffering from fucking corporate price gouging. What, the farmer eats his own corn? Is that all he's doing? He's just shoving corn in his asshole? That's what it is? The farmers that you give a fuck about are the ones who own the farms. But the farmers that you constantly bring up as a defensive shield are also getting ass blasted by goddamn corporate price gouging. Look at that. Greedflation caused more than half of last year's inflation surge. Study finds as corporate profits remain at all-time highs. Shocking. From the communists over at fucking Fortune, dude. This is why I was saying, like, a lot of people constantly fucking lie and yell at leftists and progressives for saying objective truths. Being a leftist is about being right just too early, always and forever. And people still get negatively polarized against you, and then they just move on. They might arrive at your position. They might arrive at your position a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, when it's far too late down the line, and it still doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Because they already have that resentment towards you. That's it, though. It's always the same. Same shit with Israel, or swapping out Biden with Kamala Harris. That's why I say history will absolve me no matter what. We've been saying it's fucking greedflation, that corporations have just kept prices high and increased it regardless. And it's like, oh, you're just making that up. You just hate the wealthy. You just keep saying wealthy people bad. That's it. CNN Business News study this year says it's not. Okay, dude. Yeah, no, definitely. Please believe me. It is not actually corporations keeping prices high. It's not. They just have no other way to do it. Remember when they said that about the fucking bird flu too? Like, never let a good crisis go to waste. Corporations have one speed. They're always going to lie to you. Remember when I told you Walgreens was fucking lying when they said that they were closing up shop in Oakland and in San Francisco because of retail theft and it was getting out of control for them, and that's why they were closing up shop in San Francisco? And I told you that that was a lie, that they were trying to use a very popular narrative that was already fucking running amok in the media to shelter the truth, to hide the real reason. It's because Amazon is cleaning out their fucking pockets, and brick and mortar sales are too fucking costly because real estate prices affect them negatively as well. Remember when I told you that? And everyone told me I was a fucking radical, that I love crime, and I just like don't want to admit that black people are doing crime all the time or some shit, like, you know, racialized sentiments in the chat over and over again. And then a year later, the fucking CFO of Walgreens was like, yeah, my bad. We actually lied about that completely.